Look at him.
Great!
Now, could I ask you to be a bit more extroverted?
Yes, I will. Yes, I'll try. Yes, I'm very shy.
You're withdrawn a bit.
Yes, I am a bit withdrawn. Yes.
Well, look at you.
Yes.
I mean, you're a man now well stricken in years.
Yes, I'm 69 years of age.
Scarce a mark on you.
Scarce a mark on me.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you've got this. You emanate energy.
Yes, I love life. I mean, life is a celebration to me. When I get up in the morning, I just look forward to the morning, look forward to the day. And of course now, I mean, because there's no end to my talents, they're a marvellous audience. They've got very good taste.
Oh, yes.
And so, half my life... You haven't changed at all, Terry.
No.
But half my life now is exploration and half acting. And so, I mean... It's just wonderful, suddenly having these two careers.
How can we tell one apart from the other?
Well, I mean, I'm esoteric now and say, as Hamlet says, you know, that acting really is holding up the mirror up to life, and therefore climbing Mount Everest is life. And there's a huge difference.
You're an amazing fella. You are amazing. You're the only actor I know who's ever attempted to climb Mount Everest, what, 3 times?
3 times, yes, 3 times, yes. I'm going back next spring. I'm going with a doctor's expedition, 65 doctors.
Oh, good idea.
And it's going to be... Of course, they'll all be ill, and I'll be looking after them.
Exactly.
Yes. It's really, I mean, in intensive care... Apparently, this would be depressing on your programme. They tell me, the doctors, that 20% of people in intensive care don't survive. And that they're going up there, they're going to study altitude, they're going to do experiments on me, they want to get me to the summit. They're taking all kinds of oxygen. I've never used oxygen. And oxygen for children in school, so the children can... They're developing all these little sets for children with asthma and so forth. Yeah. And they're going to conquer all the problems in intensive care and understand altitude. It's a big, huge expedition. I think Horizon are filming it.
Well, isn't Mount Everest quite popular now? Don't you find you pass, as you're getting towards the peak, reams of Japanese tourists coming down?
In answer to your question, what it is, I mean, with Everest is that there's always said there's lots of rubbish there. In actual fact, there isn't. Particularly the southern side. I was there in 1993 on an expedition that cleared up Everest Base Camp. So when you see mess on Everest now, it is cleared up. It's usually base camp, lots and lots of tents.
How high have you been up Everest? How high have you got?
Well, Everest is 29,035 feet high. And in 1993, on my birthday, would you believe it, I was at 28,600 feet without oxygen.
Really amazing.
I was going wonderfully. I was ahead of everybody during the first assault. And there was a man just above me called Angelo, a Catalan climber, and he was dying. He was on oxygen. His oxygen had packed in. He got 5 children. So I'm dying, Brian. And I could touch the summit. And I just had to help him and turned round and took him down to the South Col and saved his life. I pushed him down the col. Well, I had to... I could touch the summit, and I thought I'd been there for 15, 20 weeks, trained so hard. But I mean, human life is much more important. You know, there's more to an expedition, more to life than a peak and a summit. And I got him down. And so I'm going back next year, and I'm going to climb it.
Tell me now, you're an actor.
Yes.
And would you regard yourself as a serious actor?
Yes, I am. The acting world always says to me, "Oh, Brian, are you on our side?" You know, you're going about the reality of expeditions. I've been to the North Pole. There's no end to my talents. I've been to the North Pole, etc., and Lost World and deserts and God knows what. But are you not on our side anymore? I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, I do feel strongly that the acting is probably the most bravest of all arts. So here we are, lads and lasses. I'm on your side, really. You see, in opera, which I've done a bit of singing in opera, you can say you've got a sore throat. I don't feel very well. I wasn't very good this evening. Or in ballet, I've had a bit of a cartilage, sort of ligaments and so forth. But, therefore, in acting, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, you're shot down. Your eyes are criticised, your voice, your face, your heart, your imagination, your soul is criticised. And the next day you've got to go back onto that stage and put one foot in front of the other, or put one foot in front of the camera. Therefore, it requires immense bravery. Nevertheless, I feel at 28,000 feet on Everest, then you dig in to reserves of bravery and you push on. I think it just requires a bit more.
Acting is a bit girly, really, though, isn't it?
Stop it. When I feel gay, Terry, I jump up and down.
No, I know.
And my voice gets deeper. You know,
You've been all over us.
Yes.
Ever since, what, Fancy?
Yes, Fancy Smith in
Z
Z-Cars. Yes, I have, Terry.
You're a
yes.
great favourite of the Queen, I understand.
Yes, how do you know?
I know everything.
Yes, you do. Now, I must say, every time I see, I've known the Queen on and off since the 60s, and apparently when she was pregnant, I was her favourite character in Z-Cars. I was Fancy Smith. I got 7,000 letters a day. Oh my God, I was sexy. Ooh, I was very sexy. I know the Queen liked me the best, and it was compulsive viewing, watching me as Fancy Smith. I have to say, by the way, and on the odd occasion that I meet her, I call her Knuckles. Because she hits me.
You see, she said, you're far too old to be going up Mount Everest. I'm going to make an edict, and order you not to go up, but you won't obey me. You won't obey me, will you? I said, no. She said, yes, you're just like my mummy was. You're very stubborn.
But she always hits me with the knuckles.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean...
There's not many people can boast that.
No, they can't.
Look, we can't continue without showing you
Yes.
a classic moment, because one of the chaps who makes this excuse for a programme is obsessed with this movie.
Yes,
and he
yes.
thinks everyone has seen it and loves it as much as he does.
Yes, yes.
It's just a little taster from Flash Gordon.
I think it's a marvelous film because it's got a 1930s quality, which is great style.
But when you went round the back there of that girl,
she didn't expect it.
no,
They never do. but the Gordons alive. I mean, wherever I go, all over the. I mean, you know, whenever I go, all over the world, everywhere, taximen, branch, say in a taxi in the London street, say Gordon's alive. So everywhere I go, say Gordon's alive, and they all cheer. They all cheer. Everywhere I go, they all want to hear Gordon's alive. It's on the Queen record, but it's a great movie. You know, those wings.
Yeah.
It took ages to put on, and they're solid. So it took half an hour to get them on. So when you got the wings on, I couldn't sit in a chair. So they built me a perch. So all the camera boys are going, pretty. Anyway, there's a point. There's a camera's fault, isn't it? Yeah. There's a point. There's a point in the movie. Stay there, this way, Claire. Down this way, Claire. There's a point in the movie in which we fight the aliens and the rocket ship comes in. And it costs millions to get the smoke and the dynamite and everything ready. And I come flying with 2,000 men. You know, and I'm given a great bazooka. Of course, it's made of cardboard. And I came flying in and they said, stand by, Brian! Music, dynamite, special effects, and become. And I came, action! And I came in, freeze! You turkeys! Come on, Flash! Cut! Brian, we put in the special effects.
join me after the break. I'll be remembering the moment when Brian tried to climb Everest. Gloria Hunniford will be with us, and Matt Dawson, Katie Mellower. They'll all be here. Don't go away. Brilliant. Look, he's still in his climbing boots.
I know. They're so comfortable on my feet.
I hate it when you got a quiet guest. Can't get a word out of it. Dear Brian.
Things never go quite the way you think, do they?
No. I'm happy with you. You do it, whatever you know, just leave those women alone. No good. That girl's face when you went there.
You never expected it. It's terrible. At least she wasn't the Queen. It is.
Welcome back to Wogan Now and Then. I don't know, I don't like it when it's too quiet. Still to come, Gloria Honeyford, Katie Mellower, Matt Dawson. With me now, one of our finest actors.
Yes, this is true.
Climbing.
The truth will make you free.
If he's known for anything, it's his engaging modesty. 10 years ago, you... not to return excessively to Everest, but
yes.
I had described to me, and indeed I watched it on the television, you got dressed up like Mallory. While others were wearing oxygen masks and everything, you were in +4s and those boots there.
Yes, that's right, yes, I brought my boots back. Yes, yes. Well, people say, are you mad, Brian? And I say, yes, it's the only thing that makes sense. No, cut a long story short, the greatest expedition ever mounted on God's earth was in 1924 when the British went to Everest. Excuse me. And they wore Norfolk jackets and puttees and things like that. A man called George Lee Mallory disappeared on Everest. They found his body recently. Fantastic. He was last seen going for the summit, 600 feet from the summit with Irving. The mists came down, they were never seen again. He was called Galahad of Everest. I wanted to tell the story. We knew about Shackleton and we knew about Scotty the Antarctic and people like that. Nobody knew Mallory. And so I wanted to make the story. And so eventually, I mean, I couldn't get the money. I went everywhere. I mean, I tried Everest double glazing. I mean, Paul Getty, everybody. And eventually BBC coughed up most of the money, Alan Titchmarsh. And we got there. Of course, I was 53.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been wanting to do this since I was cars and 26, 27. And suddenly, there I was now, you know, going up there. And suddenly I was absolutely scared stiff. And I was wearing Norfolk jackets and puttees. And the Dalai Lama blessed me like he did the 24 expedition. And the weather was amazing. And I remember, eventually, you know, they said, well, Brian, you'll never get above 22,000 feet. We're only allowed to go to 23,000 feet, the Chinese government. I got gradually, slowly. We got there, and you know, I think, are you going to show a bit of Everest? No, anyway. Yeah. So anyway.
Eventually.
When I got there, eventually, I gradually started to kind of ascend. I mean, it was, you know, I'd never been any higher than 17,000 feet. And then I was 19,000 feet, 20,000 feet, 21,000 feet, 22,000, 23,000 feet, 24,000 feet, 25,000 feet. And then I reached about 27,000 feet. And the weather was wonderful. And I was in Norfolk jacket, I was dressed like this. I was undoing my shirt. And I was making I said to David Rashears, who does the IMAX films, David, let's have some coffee. He said, Brian, let's have some coffee, Brian. Fine, Brian. I was here last year with 5 of the world's greatest mountaineers fighting for my life here with our ice axes dug through the tents so we wouldn't be blown 4 miles down that face. And the weather's wonderful. Yeah, we'll have a coffee. 2 sugars, Brian. And I seem to be kind of blessed.
I'm a brave man.
Well, you see, I've been trying to do it since I was the age of 7. Ladies and gentlemen, follow your dreams. Don't let anyone put you off. 7 years of age. The wonderful thing when I first saw Everest, it was the first time I'd seen it. I dreamt about it since 7 years of age. And there was Mallory up there somewhere. And there was the book. And you read books, adventure books, ladies and gentlemen. You go out there, ladies and gentlemen. And suddenly, I was in the book. I was part of Mallory. I was part of adventure. And I do believe that the greatest danger in life, ladies and gentlemen, is not taking the adventure. Go out there. Go and fulfill your dreams. I mean, I am the most unlikely character to be going to these great heights. But I will not be restricted. I will not. No. What's this age thing? You know, I mean, 40s, middle-age, that's nonsense. 40 is very young now with all the kind of the pills we've got and everything else.
I like to think so.
I mean, Terry and I don't need that blue pill. Do we need that blue pill, Terry? No, we're absolutely...
Have you got me? It's been wonderful to have you here as a guest.
It's
Brian
been a great privilege.
Thank you.